Yo, welcome back to another team reveal. We're NRL Fantasy tonight. It is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Got one day till kickoff of part 2 of round 1. Up in Brizzy here, we have a cyclone coming, so fingers crossed that we have electricity and we can watch our round 1, watch the Broncos, which is probably my main team. Secretly, I do pretend to go for the Dolphins amongst the boys, but hey, I'm trying not to miss many Broncos games. But, you know, the news just before recording this is that the Dolphins players are freaking out about the cyclone. Look, it's all fair enough if you're a fringe sort of player and you want to stay home and look after your family. I get that. So there is issues potentially coming for round 1 if that game gets postponed. It's already been moved. Whether it gets cancelled, I'm not sure. But regardless, we're here to talk about my NRL Fantasy team after team lists and a lot of tinkering. I've done a lot of changes. Let's go through it. Harry Grant. With the bench for Connor Watson that's been named, I'm just a bit unsure. I just don't like the sort of bang for buck for him at his price. So what I've chosen to do is lean down my bench and just get a set and forget hooker up until Origin in Harry Grant. If someone else rises up, so be it. But unfortunately, we're at the point where you have to go with Harry Grant, I think, just to secure that main spot of hooker where it's absolutely dire straits in that spot. Terrell May, Corey Horsburgh's pretty popular. I'm glad I jumped on Horse. I think if you're sleeping on it, you're going to regret it, but I'm glad I got on him. And then my pod is Adam Fanua-Blake. I had a few different people in that spot all pre-season, primarily Isaiah Yeo. But in the last minute, I just thought, I've got Isaiah Yeo and a couple of draft teams. I'm just going to swing a little bit different and go Adam Fanua-Blake, who, you know, I like to watch, and I just didn't want to have to deal with Origin. AFB doesn't play Origin. Just let him ride all season, all good, potentially save a trade, even though Isaiah Yeo is a bit better. Happy to rock with Adam Fanua-Blake. I just thought about the minutes, and I thought, screw it, I don't care about the minutes. The upside's probably real, and I just wanted him. I jumped on Zach Hosking at the final hour before last week. The casual athlete, who you've probably seen if you're watching this, he was just selling the upside of Hosking. I didn't like Hosking's injury history. He's not a guy I really want for draft. But I looked at the scores Hosking put together when he does play 80 or even 70 minutes on the edge, and I just thought, yeah, look, I can get around that. I think the price made sense too, and I wasn't really set on anyone in the edge back row. Gilbert next to him, just captain, as in for the actual Dolphins. Think he'll play a good amount of minutes, and at 500k, like 25k more than Seyfarth, it's a no-brainer for me for Gilbert. Mid-edge combo, it's all good. If he sucks, we'll sort it out. Cleary Metcalf, that's pretty common. Lucas Toya, that's might be a little less. Toya's common. Lucas might be less common. It was Lucas or Fermor, but I wanted to do the loop with Campbell because I have Tamale's score sitting here. So Lucas it is, and love Lucas. I think he's a stud. That's fine. He probably has some money to make on that. Honestly, for being realistic, he could probably get closer to low 7s. But regardless, just love him. Marju's pretty common. Iongi's pretty common. Campbell's probably pretty common too. Cole, I don't really know why I started him in draft as well, which was fine, had to. Seyfarth I've pivoted to because I think he's been named captain. I think he'll play a fair whack of minutes, most likely 80, at worst 65, and he's just going to probably tackle himself to a standstill. I think I like him a little bit more than Nafahu White, and I still keep a little bit of money in the bank doing this setup, so pretty happy. Duffy Smith makes sense. Tamale, happy with that. I think he might retain the spot just off the talent that we've seen. Hubner, look, he's got pretty good Q Cup stats. Hubner, I think he had quite a significant work rate as the captain for the Capras, I think it is, and yeah, plenty of games where he had 20 plus hit ups. You know, just a lot of runs. So I think he'll just, even if he makes us 150k. 100k, whatever, we'll sort it out. Mamazelos, yeah, pretty common. And Purdue is my, most, the player I'm least stoked about. But I needed the 250. And centre, he can sub in when the Knights are on bye in a couple of weeks. Look, Purdue's talented, Yeah, he's my least enthusiastic. Him, Mammazellus, and Hubner I don't love, but it's all good. You got to get those cheapies in to sort of get what you want out of the rest of your team. I've seen a lot of people seeing Metcalf's early score and pivoting, but I couldn't do another half. I've already got Smith, Cole, and Duffy. One of them's going to eventually, play in that spot if we have to sell Metcalf if he continue underperforming, which I don't think he will. I think they'll make some changes there soon enough, and Metcalf will be fine at 440. I'm cool with that. So that is the team before we go into the rest of round one. I think I've got enough kind of pods. I don't think Campbell's a pod. Well, 4%. Yeah, he's a bit of a pod. For Noah Blake's not really a pod, but he's different to the Yo thing. Grant's definitely not a pod. Yeah, so we don't have many pods, but we've got enough here to start with, and we'll keep it rolling. What is Hosking ended up 15%? Yeah, they're not pods, but it's all good. I didn't realise Campbell's actually probably my biggest pod, so I'm cool with that. He'll get kick meters, kick goals, and we'll just, if he's no good, we'll flick him, but wanted to do the Tamale there. So yeah, I think it makes sense. Pretty happy with this. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of it goes. If you enjoy my fantasy content, let me know. I can keep doing it. I will play it because I do have a bunch of leagues with mates. But yeah, if you enjoy fantasy and you'd like to see me talk about trades or buys and sells, I can do that too during the season. So let me know. Cheers for watching. Sweet.